I've got to say, I'm a bit annoyed at the Green Knight. Not for the film itself, but it was scheduled for a cinema release. It then got pulled, which I understood because not many people are going to go watch the Green Knight. It's not exactly James Bond. So it would have been a waste of time. And then it got moved to Amazon Prime. I thought, excellent, get in. So I watched it on Amazon Prime. And then few days, week later, it's out in the pictures. And if I would have known that, I would have held fire on watching it on my TV in mine. And you got it. You had a HD link of some sort, didn't you?
Yeah, I found it wasn't as good quality as what was on Amazon, but it was good enough to watch. It certainly wasn't like, an VHS bootleg or anything like that. And I never do that with anything that I'm looking forward to. But I couldn't hold my piss any longer with this film. Like, I was looking forward to this more than I was June. So yeah, through lockdown, it felt like, it was scheduled to get a cinema release, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it was. I kept on dangling the bait sort of thing, and I was like, I got to the point where I thought, I'm going to watch this as soon as I can, because I just can't wait any longer. And I feel now, I don't feel totally output by it, but I could have waited if I knew it was going to Prime, especially being in UHD. But then, like you, I'd have preferred to have waited for the cinema for it, because it's such like visually dense and like sort of beautiful film that you kind of want to have that first impression on it. So it's suffered more than just not getting the release when it was scheduled to, and not having a bigger theatrical release in terms of people have sought other means to be able to watch it. And I think, it certainly wasn't going to be a film that was going to make a lot of money. It is very niche, and like you say, it probably does fall into the art house category. It's certainly not Bond. It's certainly not anything that Marvel's churned out, and it's a really dense film, but something which I got loads of satisfaction from watching and milling through afterwards. But it's definitely suffered massively, like you say, through being delayed during the pandemic.
Yeah, I think I've slowly gotten over that. Like we went to pictures to see it, and thank God really, because I got a completely different, well, not completely different, but it was a greatly improved viewing experience compared to watching it at home. And I remember, like, when we left, we had a little talk about it and discussing it and whatnot just for a bit. I was like, yeah, this is a really, the cinema experience just amplified it so much. And I remember, like, I usually listen to music on the way home when I'm crossing over that big dark fields when it's pitch black. I was like, I need to listen to the soundtrack for this. Like, I need to. And it's not a soundtrack that should be listened to whilst walking over a pitch black field. Because there's some tracks on there that's just, it's so creepy. I mean, I had to cut the tension by having a piss in the bush.
Don't go into the long grass.
Yeah. But yeah, and seeing it in the cinema, I was just like, it really should be seen on the big screen. And I think, and I'm going back on myself saying this now, but I think with the amount of, I think if this was pre-pandemic, I think it would have done all right, because it's a refreshing change from the films you've just mentioned, Marvel, Bond, Dune. It's a completely, it's, and I think it's got the visual style that everyone can, like, really appreciate, even if you don't understand it, which I'm throwing out there. Like I said to you the other night, as soon as I thought I understood it, something else happened that I thought I'm absolutely lost here. But I was just enjoying the visuals so much, and the sound design particularly. So is that something? I mean, how did you find the cinema going experience compared to home viewing?
Yeah, like I said, it was tenfold on watching at home on a screener, and then also on the UHD version through Amazon. To the point, something which I was going to bring up later on, but in the final scene when he gets to the Green Chapel and he's sat there and the Green Knight's just static, and then there's like a little segment of twilight where you kind of see a close up of the Green Knight's face. And what I realised in the cinema was it changes to the different characters that he's encountered, and I didn't get that from the screener, from the UHD version. I could only see that in the cinema, and like for a film that's so like dense, there's visual information like that you need to pick up on, which might help you decipher what exactly is going on or the avenue you should be thinking down to kind of. I mean, it's not a puzzle. It's not like a whodunit or anything like that. It's just very rich visually, so you kind of have to take a lot from it. And so just on that point alone, yeah, like it has to be seen on the cinema. And I wouldn't recommend that anyone watch it any other way. If you can get to a cinema to watch it, do it. Like there's just no excuse.